It's time for Game 3s in the American League. Let's talk some MLB playoffs. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and that's right, we are back to talk American League Division Series Game 3s. One of them still going on as we're recording. We had to record this a little early, but that was a great first game. The Phillies tried to make a comeback and fell just short as the Dodgers take a commanding 2-0 lead heading back to LA. But yesterday, possible 1-0 day. Again, the game is like in the 6th inning right now as we're recording. It's looking good. We had one push, but possibly on a 28-11 run. But we'll go over that recap in just a little bit. As you guys know, any graphics you see in this video are from OUTLIER, the best betting research tool on the market today. Click that link below. You get a 7-day free trial. So let's get into it. And I got an MLB fun fact, actually. I couldn't find a dad joke quick enough. So here we go. MLB fun fact. Only 2 teams in MLB history have had a $300 million or more payroll and missed the playoffs. The 2023 Mets and the 2025 Mets. If you're a GM given $300 million and you can't make the playoffs in 2 of the last 3 years, that's just not pretty. In this video, we're going to recap yesterday, and then we're going to go over the good and bad hitter matchups, the best pitcher strikeout matchups, the entire 2-game pitcher report, and then, of course, we'll finish it with the best bets. I got one in each game, and then, of course, we'll finish it with the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. Come join this awesome community. Let's get it rolling, and that means it's recap time. All right, kind of a boring recap today. The first one was a push, 0-0. Blake Snell and Jesus Luzardo absolutely dominated. The hitters had no chance at all. So we take a push, not a loss at least. But second one, Brewers money line. I have a good feeling about this one. They're up 7-3 going to the bottom of the 6th right now. Cubbies started with a 3-run bomb by Seiya Suzuki in the top of the 1st, and just like the Brewers do, they had an Andrew Vaughn 3-run home run in the bottom of the 1st, and then they took off from there. Churio hit a home run. I think Contreras did. Just scoring runs in bunches again. So it looks like we're going to be 1-0, possibly 28-11 run, and move to 11-3 in the playoffs. I didn't update it here on the recap because, again, it's not official. It's not officially over yet. The Cubs could make a comeback, but that's what we got for the recap. Now let's talk some hitter matchups. All right, we got 8 good hitter matchups for you, and these hitter matchups have actually been doing really well in the playoffs. We start with Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 10 for 17 with 4 extra base hits off Carlos Rodon. That is absolutely impressive. Gleyber Torres, 6 for 16 off Logan Gilbert. Riley Green, 5 for 12 off Gilbert. Naylor, who is having a horrendous series, an error and terrible AB after terrible AB. But he's 3 for 10 against Flaherty. Just a heads up, Naylor may or may not be in the lineup. He did not travel to Detroit with the team. Maybe his wife has the baby, maybe not, but just wanted to point that out. Javi Baez, 3 for 8 off Gilbert. Arozarena, how about 3 for 8 and all 3 hits, extra base hits, including 2 home runs off of Flaherty. You see Crawford there, 3 for 7 off Flaherty. And Paul Goldie, 3 for 6 off of Shane Bieber. So that's what we got for the good hitter matchups. Now let's take a look at the bad hitter matchups. Just 3, all Toronto Blue Jays. George Springer, 5 for 26 off Rodon with 5 Ks. Schneider, 2 for 11 with 5 Ks. And Miles Straw, 1 for 11 with 7 Ks. So that's what we got for the hitter matchups. Now let's talk some Ks. All right, we got one good pitcher strikeout matchup, and it's the man, Logan Gilbert against the Tigres. Detroit, 3rd highest K rate versus righties last 3 weeks, almost 29%. Gilbert, we know, 173 Ks, 131.1 innings, just a K machine. In his last 3 starts, though, it's been a little bit lower. 14 Ks and 16.2 innings, but he hasn't pitched in like a week and a half, just so you guys know, or somewhere around there. But he did have 34 Ks in his previous 22.2 innings. Much lower K rate on the road, still solid, 26.2, but at home, he is unreal, 38.8%. Does not help here, obviously. Slightly higher K rate versus righties, 33.6 compared to 31.1 lefties. He has faced the Tigers twice this season. He has 19 strikeouts in 10.1 innings. Now, another note, just to kind of give you some info, Carlos Rodon, decently high strikeout pitcher. He's facing the Blue Jays, though. 8th lowest K rate versus lefties last 3 weeks. You guys know they do not swing and miss. He faced Toronto twice this season. He had 4 Ks in 5 innings and 4 Ks in 5 innings in the 2 starts. So that's what we got for the pitcher K matchups. Now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, here are the 2 matchups of the day. We got Gilbert versus Flaherty to start us out. Gilbert finished the season allowing 2 or less earned runs in 5 straight starts, has allowed 24 hits and 7 earned runs in his last 27.1 innings. Still had a solid year. I mean, up and down, especially with an injury in the middle of the year, but you guys know what Gilbert brings. And then Jack Flaherty, This is a guy who has been very hit and miss. In the last 10 regular season starts, he has 5 where he's given up 1 or less earned run, and 5 where he's given up 3 or more earned runs, and 4 where he's given up 4 or more earned runs. So you get rocked or he dominates. It's crazy. But then we go over to New York. We got Shane Bieber against Carlos Rodon. Bieber has given up 2 or less earned runs in 5 of his 7 starts. That's right, just 40.1 innings thrown this year. Given up 5 or less hits in 6 of those 7 as well. Carlos Rodon given up 2 or less earned runs in 9 of his last 10 regular season starts. Gave up 4 hits and 3 earned runs versus Boston in the last round in 6 innings. So that's what we got for the pitcher report and all the research help. Now it's time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to Detroit, Michigan, where the Tigres host the Seattle Mariners. Mariners minus 132, Tigers plus 108 on the money line with a total of 7.5 runs. If you guys watch this series, you know it's been 2 very tight games already. Somehow the Mariners are now 3-0 versus Scooball this season, but they have played in the most one-run games in the major leagues, so this isn't really a surprise if you're a Mariners fan. We've already had 2 one-run games in this series, including an extra innings, but I'm going to give you a best bet. If you listen to my explanation, if you think it's a homer pick, I completely understand. Obviously, you don't have to tail anything you don't want, but my best bet is the Mariners on the money line, minus 130 on FanDuel for a half unit. Yes, obviously them winning is the most important thing to me, but I just think they have an advantage in every aspect of this game. So let's start with the starting pitcher matchup. Logan Gilbert versus Jack Flaherty. We've talked about these pitchers a little bit already in this video, but Gilbert is our ace throwing in Game 3. We have the advantage here. He has had great success versus the Tigers this year. 10.1 innings, giving up 3 earned runs with 19 Ks like we talked about earlier in the K matchups. Even in a down season for him, which it kind of is, 3.44 ERA, 1.03 WHIP, and over a 32% K rate. And he has been dominant versus lefties, which is why I love this matchup. Giving up a 197 average and a ridiculous 0.98 WHIP. That's huge because you're facing a Tigers offense that is loaded with lefties. Yes, Gilbert has been worse on the road. There's no denying that, but the Tigers lineup has been awful, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So Jack Flaherty been up and down, like we talked about. ERA by month, how about 6.84 in June, 3.5 in July, 5.5 in August, 3.86 in September, October. It is all over the place. This guy has given up 23 home runs on the season. He has the ability, when he has command and is locating his pitches, he can dominate. He's got some good stuff, but when he's not, he struggles. Like I mentioned on the pitcher report, he's been all over the place. He has faced the Mariners once back on July 13th, gave up 2 earned runs in 5 innings. Offenses, this Tigers offense, if you watch them, they are mightily struggling. And I mean, it's been for like a month now. I mean, if you're a Tigers fan, you know that. They are striking out a ton and not getting many hits. In the playoffs this season, they have 22 total hits in 38 innings, and they are striking out a boatload right now. Mariners offense, slow game 1, but did have 8 hits in game 2. They've been an offense that has hit really well on the road, and this is why I like it. When they get away from that Seattle ballpark, T-Mobile, they hit the ball well. In fact, let's talk about how good they have been on the road since September 1st, hitting .269 as a team, 3rd best in the majors. They have hit 29 home runs. Most by far. The next closest team has 22 home runs on the road. Number 1 WRC plus in the league on the road. Their offense just absolutely goes nuts. They hit bomb after bomb. It's a lot easier to hit in other places. I do know Detroit is somewhat of a pitcher's ballpark as well. But with this, with what I've seen from the Tigers, again, this is their first home game in a while too. First playoff home game here this year. But I just like the Mariners, and I think they have a big advantage. Obviously, they have the ability to hit a home run at any moment. And then bullpens, Mariners have the slight advantage here. Both teams are getting obviously more familiar with each other, so it's kind of hard to determine who exactly has it. Lefty Gabe Spire has been a huge addition or a huge help for the Mariners in this series. He comes in when they get those big lefties at the top of that Detroit Tigers lineup. Tigers have pitched well out of the pen as well. You saw Kyle Finnegan go 2 days in a row, and the Mariners got to him finally that second time. But, you know, I wouldn't say a huge advantage anywhere in the bullpens. Just slight advantage for the Mariners. But overall, it's probably going to be another tight game, but the M's have the better starting pitcher, the better offense, slightly better bullpen. They hit the ball really well on the road. At just 130, I got to take a chance here. So give me my M's on the money line as my first best bet. All right, this next one takes us out to Yankee Stadium, where the Yanks host the Toronto Blue Jays. Yanks on the money line, minus 149. Blue Jays on the money line, plus 123, with a total of 7.5 runs. Not much to say here. The Blue Jays have absolutely obliterated the Yankees, and they are 1 game away from eliminating them. I'm going with a team total in the first 5. Give me the Jays team total over 1.5 in the first 5 innings as my best bet. Minus 125 on DraftKings for a half unit. So it feels kind of like stealing to just need 2 runs out of this Blue Jays lineup in the first 5 innings. I know they've been a bit better at home, but 2 is still not asking a lot here at Yankee Stadium. Let's talk Carlos Rodon first. He's a guy who relies on a lot of swing and miss stuff, which when teams aren't chasing and his off speed out of the zone, he tends to struggle with walks and has to go after hitters more, which leads to harder hits as well. So he has given up a total of 6 total runs and 4 total earned runs versus Toronto in 10 innings this year. He's faced some really weak offenses. I told you in the pitch report he's given up 2 or less runs in so many starts, and he's doing well. Here's his last 7 matchups. The Red Sox, who are not hitting lefties at all, White Sox, Orioles, Twins, Tigers, Astros, and White Sox. That's bad. I mean, this is going to be a massive step up for him. Blue Jays offense, they have a ton of lefty killers. Vlad, Varsho, Springer, Kirk, they have all been hitting well versus lefties. This lineup has a lot of righties to face Rodon, which is the spot you want here. As for the K's matchup, I said Rodon relies on a swing and miss, and that helps him in this matchup. Blue Jays have the 8th lowest K rate versus lefties like we talked about, but also they're top 3 in the league in lowest chase rate. This is just not a great matchup for him. This offense is coming in scorching hot. I don't think 2 runs in the first 5 is really asking much. I mean, they just put up like 3 touchdowns in Toronto. It was crazy. But give me the Bluebirds team total over 1.5 runs in the first 5. That is my second and final best bet on the video. Let's stay hot. Let's get some more winners. But before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. My 2 best bets for the American League Division Series Game 3s. Mariners on the money line, -130. Blue Jays team total over 1.5 in the first 5 innings, -125 for a half unit. Again, we've been hot. Let's hope we can stay hot. Thank you guys for listening, though, as always. Really appreciate the support. Leave your comment below. Let me know who you guys think is going to win. Unless you think it's not the Mariners, then you don't need to comment. I'm just joking. But anyways, hope you guys have a great Tuesday, and we'll talk to you soon.